Welcome to episode 55 of Pera's Playbook. Today I'm joined by Natalie Anderson of the Trinity University women's basketball team. Natalie, how are you on this Tuesday evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. It's Tuesday. It's kind of like one of those days of the week. You can take it or leave it. I mean, it's not as bad as Monday, but it's not as good as like Thursday. So I guess
Yeah.
you really can't complain, but it could be better also. So, there's a lot we can talk about here, and we'll get to kind of the current season in a little bit, but we might as well go back to kind of your recruiting and how you ended up at Trinity first. You're from California, now you're in Texas. In
Right.
your, early recruiting, did you want to leave? Like, was that a big thing for you? Did you want to stay in California? And then, later on, you're like, oh, maybe I should leave. How did that kind of play out with your
Um,
recruiting?
yeah, I mean, initially I did not want to leave California. I was actually planning on going to, a school in California. But I got my offer from Trinity and I was like, you know what, maybe I'll do something different, branch out, try something new. So yeah, that's how I ended up in San Antonio.
Yeah. Was your recruiting process pretty straightforward and pretty easy, or did you have a tough, stressful recruiting process?
I mean, I feel like everyone's recruiting process is different. But I initially was uncertain if I was going to play basketball in college. I was looking at another school for rowing actually in California, but I decided to, take a leap of faith, I guess, and, try out basketball in college. And Trinity was a great option for me, both academically and athletically. So I decided to come here, and it's been great ever since. So
Yeah. Your dad played basketball at Santa Clara. Has he been a pretty big influence on you in your basketball career?
oh yeah, for sure. I mean, from the second, I could pick up a ball, he's been on me about, everything, but I'm so grateful for it and I wouldn't change it for the world. But I'm very grateful to have him and just, his knowledge of the game has definitely shaped me as a player, and he coached my middle school basketball team and he's been my quote unquote personal trainer for forever. So I mean, yeah, he's had a huge influence in my life for
Yeah,
sure.
it's nice to have that. You get to go home and or ask him questions and he can help you out. He knows what he's talking about. Other kids, maybe their parents never played basketball. They have no idea what's going on. They got to figure it out on their own. So you kind of have this nice bonus in your back pocket. I'm sure he
Yeah.
was happy that you chose basketball in college instead of rowing. I'm obviously
Yeah.
your parents are going to support their kids whether they choose, but probably
Right.
happier you chose basketball, being a
Yeah.
basketball guy.
Yeah, he does. He is. Yeah.
So year one, how do you think it went, like adjusting to college basketball? Was that difficult for you? Was it a hard adjustment?
I mean, it was interesting just because I played on the same team a majority of my life. Probably fifth through my senior year. I was on a team with the same players and the same coach, so I knew the system very well. And the girls I played with, I knew them super well, just their tendencies on the court. So coming to college and being with a whole new group of girls and a new coach was definitely an adjustment. But I mean, I think I learned a lot and it was a great experience my first year for sure.
What about the college side of college? Classes, figuring out, new time schedules, time management, all of that on top of a sport. Was that a pretty easy transition for you? It's different obviously for everybody and
Right.
depending on majors and all kinds of different stuff too.
Yeah, I think, yeah, like you said, the big thing was time management, because you get to pick your class schedules and what times work best for you if you're more of a morning person or you're more of like an afternoon, and working around travel and game times and practice schedules. It's definitely a lot, but I mean, I feel like I've got my schedule and routine down this year, so it's been a lot easier for sure.
Yeah, it takes a little bit of time, but once you get it down, good to go.
Yeah.
So take us through your first game and your first college game, like leading up to it. And I'm sure there were some jitters, but also some excitement at like the same time. And then, you finally, when you got to step on the court, what was going through your head?
Yeah, our first game was, well, my first game, I guess, was in Alabama. So we traveled. It was an away game, and I was nervous for sure. I mean, it's the first college game. It's a lot of expectations, a lot of hype around it. But once you get on the floor, you just kind of, for me personally, I just kind of like block everything out. Like I've always been like that. I just like step on the floor and that's all I'm focused on. I'm just like, okay, what do I need to do? What? So that's kind of what happened. I was so nervous, and then I just got on the floor, and it was like, okay, like you've done this so many times, like it nothing changes. And my parents actually came and surprised me in Alabama for my first game, so that was definitely a special moment for sure.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah.
So when you say you block everything out, like do you block out the crowd noise too? Or are you just like in the zone, or can you hear like fans heckling and people screaming and all that?
I typically don't hear a lot of like the fans. I just kind of, I don't want to say like black out, but I kind of just like, I just zone in. I'm just hyper focused on what I'm doing, and all I can hear are like my teammates and my coach, and I'm just like in there playing. That's kind of how I would describe it.
Yeah. Well, that's good because then you don't want like the fans can't get in your head then if you're not focused on them.
That's true.
So you ended up playing in 29 games throughout your first year, which is obviously that's great experience for a first year to roll over to this season. And then, if we look at this season, you've made a jump in pretty much every category so far. Did you expect to make such a jump in, like playing time, scoring, rebounding, everything?
I mean, I know being like a sophomore is different than being a first year. I had a lot of experience my first year on the court, which I'm very grateful for that my coach was able to, play me a good amount my freshman year. So I would have some experience going into this year. But I mean, I think just I worked really hard this summer to, improve my game and everything. So I think it has been reflected this year so far. But yeah, yeah.
Yeah, you're averaging almost 19 points a game, 8 rebounds per game, and you had a season high 27 points in the opener. That's a great way to start off the year. You had to have been feeling pretty good throughout that game. A lot of that's great confidence to start off the year. Give yourself some awesome momentum.
For sure. Yeah, that was a fun game. It was close and we came out with it. So that was a super exciting way to start the season for sure.
Yeah. Well, so far, I mean, your team, you're 4-1. You're averaging 86 points per game. So you guys are really super high scoring team. Great start to the season. What's the feeling kind of around the team right now between the players and coaches and kind of where you're at moving forward?
Yeah, I think we're excited for this season. I mean, we have amazing upperclassmen and also a large underclassmen class, but our seniors and juniors have great experience. And, our underclassmen are, we're fresh, we're excited to play. So we're looking forward to the rest of the season. I mean, we're only 5 games in, and it's looking pretty good so far. So I'm excited for this season for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely looking pretty good when you can put up numbers and, 4-1 and, things are going good. There's lots to be happy about.
Yeah.
So, what's your favorite part of just like Trinity so far? You're in your second year there now. Just kind of overall as a school and the community and all that stuff. What's your favorite part about being there?
My favorite part about Trinity is definitely just the people here, the people I've met. I've only, been here for a year and a half, but I've made some of my closest friends here, and everyone I meet is just genuinely like so supportive and wants what's best for you, on and off the court, in the classroom as well. So just the people here I've met at Trinity are so special, and I'm so grateful for that.
Yeah. What's your favorite basketball memory? It's either like a super easy question because you just like you got one, or it's hard because you just can't pick. And I'm talking like your whole basketball, like looking back, what's your
Right.
favorite memory?
I mean, that one's really hard, but um, I mean, just being able to travel to so many different places with my teams and just like the memories off the court have been really special, but probably one of my top ones was my senior year of high school. We went to a tournament in Hawaii. So that was a super cool experience and we won the tournament. So just being there with you know, my senior year class and just having that experience was super cool.
Did you get to do some sightseeing and beach time and all that too while you were there?
Yeah, we got to do a little bit. It was, mostly business trip, but we got to do, some go in the ocean and stuff like that.
Yeah, a little bit of fun added in too.
Yeah, yeah.
So in kind of some non, like sports stuff, what kind of music do you like? Or are you big into music? I guess that's the first question. Some people aren't really that big into music.
Yeah, I mean, I listen to pretty much everything, every genre of music, but yes, I do listen to music. So,
What gets you like going for a game? What's your go-to to get yourself fired up?
I mean, there's so many. I like I like Drake. Drake's always a good one to play. But I honestly just listen to whoever's on aux in the locker room. I will vibe to anything. So yeah.
Yeah. Anyone ever throw on any country?
Yeah. There is some
Yeah.
country. I listen to country, so I'm not opposed.
Can you get fired up to country? Some people can, some people can't.
Depends.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
not maybe not before a game, but
Okay.
just hanging out,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. If you're just vibing, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you could go on like an all expense paid vacation anywhere in the world, where would you go? Like right now, dream spot.
There's so many places. Australia has always been a top one for me. But also Europe. I've never really been outside of the country. So, I think literally anywhere, but Australia and Europe is
Yeah.
definitely a top one. Yeah.
Yeah. And then the good thing about Europe is you can go to like a bunch of places because all the countries are so
Yeah.
close. Hop on a
Right.
train or a boat or something and boom, you're somewhere else, a few hours.
Exactly.
Just like
Exactly.
hopping from state to state.
Yeah.
So what's your favorite TV show or movie?
Oh, it's funny you ask because I'm not really into like movies or TV shows. A lot of my friends are like, "How you not watch TV?" or but I don't know. Friends has always been like a good one for me. I like to like binge Friends. I feel like that's
Yeah.
a good one. Yeah.
Yeah, very sad about Matthew Perry dying recently.
I
That was
know. I
that was such
know.
a shocker when somebody first told me that. I was that like Matthew Perry from Friends. You're serious? It was just hard to believe because he wasn't that old.
I
It
know.
was
Sad.
it was very sad. Very
Yeah.
good show, very good characters. So, um, are you a big reader then? If you don't like TV show, like what do you? If you don't watch TV, do you read?
I'm not really into reading either. I do want to get into reading. I do want to be a reader. I asked for some books for Christmas, because I do want to get into reading, but no, I'm not a big reader either.
Huh. I feel like a lot
Yeah,
of people like I don't watch TV because I'm always like deep into a book, or like I don't read because I'm just binge watching TV shows.
yeah, not really for me.
Oh, hey, whatever works. That's kind of
Yeah.
funny. So if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Um, I would probably say tacos. Tacos is like my favorite food, and I feel like they're very versatile, so I could, mix it up. So
Yeah.
tacos would be my answer.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, taco Taco Tuesday every day for the rest of
Yeah,
your
there you go.
life.
There you go.
Yeah. All right. So do you have any big goals for this year? I guess maybe like did you guys set any big team goals at the start of the season?
I mean, we didn't like personally set any goals, but I think an unspoken goal is to win conference. I think that's everyone's goal. Whoever plays a sport in any sport is to win their conference. But yeah, definitely win our conference and maybe make a run for nationals. I think that would be super, we could do it. So that's a goal for sure for me at least.
Yeah. Do you have any personal goals, like things that like you want to see yourself do throughout the season?
I mean, I don't really like set any personal goals for myself this season, but for me, I just want to win. I think that's like a big thing. Just
Yeah.
win and, have fun while I do it. That's a big thing for me. Just, making sure I'm having fun while I'm playing. And yeah.
Yeah. Right. I mean, if you don't want to win, what are you doing
Yeah,
playing a sport, right? Like,
exactly.
I mean, I feel like if somebody's playing a sport and they like, I don't really care if I win, they're like, well,
Right.
what's the
Yeah.
point of
Point.
yeah,
Yeah.
you gotta compete, and so far you guys are doing pretty good in the win category, so hopefully you can keep that up. It's
Yeah.
crazy to think that we're only 5 games into the basketball season, but it's also like we're already 5 games in and it's almost December, and there's like, I don't know, it's it's crazy. I mean, the first semester for college students is almost over, exams are coming up. I mean, that's got to be kind of crazy. I feel like it was just summer not that long ago.
I know, I know. I like blinked and it's December and I'm taking exams and starting to travel for basketball, but it's a lot of fun, so I wouldn't change it for the world.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
right. I mean, I'd hope you're having fun. Otherwise, say,
Yeah,
why would you
that's
do
true.
it? Yeah,
That's true.
it's yeah,
Yeah.
for the love of the game, as they say.
Mhm. Mhm.
All right. Well, Natalie, thanks for coming on this episode of the podcast, talking about your basketball career, your team. Hopefully, you guys can make a run and shoot for nationals. That's obviously, like you said, the goal for everyone. So hopefully, you guys can achieve that. And
Yeah.
yeah, thanks for coming on the podcast.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course.